How do you rebuild your life and your mindset after everything changes? Julie Gaeta is a holistic health coach, mom of 9 children, and the force behind Becoming You with Julie. After a 22-year marriage ended, she started over completely from scratch. And what she discovered about mindset, habits, and resilience will inspire you no matter where you are on your journey. From energy protecting systems to routines that actually stick, this episode is full of simple yet powerful mindset shifts that set you up for real success. Enjoy the episode. Give us a little background on your blog. Your blog is called Becoming You with Julie,
It
correct?
is.
Tell
It
us about
is.
it.
Yes. So it started out kind of in more of towards a lifestyle blog. I wanted to do food, but I was really scared to take that step into it, just because I was told by so many people that it's just oversaturated, not worth it, and I was just unsure what to do. I was just coming out of a 22-year marriage, and I knew I wanted to do something, but it was very muddled in the beginning. So I ended up writing on Medium for a few years and then transferred that over to the blog. And then I started doing like a recipe a week, and it just kind of grew from there. And I've been plant based for more than 20 years. So I decided to kind of take it a little bit further. And the younger kids all got involved with it. It was kind of a family project. And it's turned into this recipe site now with some lifestyle still. I knew I wanted to help people and overcome things and build mindset and cook healthy, and it all kind of comes together. After the divorce, too, I did do my holistic health coaching. So I wanted to kind of bring that all together. And now we're really gearing more towards food blogging.
it. Okay.
So, yeah.
So, how long has it been just a food blog or geared more toward that way?
Well, I started out on Squarespace. So the food that we were doing was just Squarespace is not really great for food blogging. So it's hard to say an actual date. Um, I'd say we started taking it really seriously about a year ago and moved over to WordPress about probably 4 or 5 months ago.
Okay.
So I feel like we're just beginning, honestly, really taking it seriously and going all in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, you're here now. You're on
Yeah.
the path of growth. That has to feel
Right.
good,
It
right?
does.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So you mentioned that a long-term marriage ended. How does that play
Yes.
into all of this?
Yeah. So I've wanted to do food blogging, my gosh, since probably early 2000s, and it just really wasn't supported in my marriage. So when that ended, I'm just like, well, it's time for me to start going after what I want to. And the kids were getting a little bit older by that point. And when the divorce happened, it was very hard. I had to go through my stuff. It was just devastating. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I was growing and listening to positive things and understanding that I had a choice how to handle it and if I was going to move forward or stay where I was. And I chose to move forward. So, and mindset is everything for that. So that's kind of where
Yeah.
that came in. Yeah,
So it set the stage
it
for
did.
realizing like this isn't something you can just let sit on the back burner. You have to
Right.
focus on mindset for life, but also
Yes.
did this carry over into your blog and just getting going with that too?
Absolutely, yes. So I've been very intentional with just getting up in the mornings and deciding, this is what I'm going to do. And even if it was scary, I just pushed myself to do hard things because I knew one foot in front of the other will eventually get me there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just kept challenging myself. I got different coaches and kept pushing forward. And like I said, I started out with more of a lifestyle in mind and wrote on Medium for quite some time, but then brought this over to the blog and have been pushing forward ever since. Not always in the right direction, but it
Oh, well,
eventually got
yeah.
me here. Yeah.
And that's part of
Yeah.
the story too. We're not always
Absolutely.
going in, I mean, it's like a roundabout, like a detour, right? Like sometimes
Yes.
we feel like we should be moving exactly toward the goal, but we're
Yes.
just going in a roundabout way and we're learning lessons along the way that are really important for
Most
our success
definitely.
as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So it
Absolutely.
sounds like the ending of your marriage just kind of
Hmm.
launched you into, okay, I am going to make this happen. I need to focus on mindset
Hmm.
and like having a lot of children too. Did
Hmm.
you feel like, I don't know, an extra um sense of just needing to be on a track where you're focusing on mindset because you
Yes.
have to be otherwise
I
I can
had to be,
imagine,
yes.
yeah,
I
otherwise
had
you would
all,
crumble,
yeah,
right?
absolutely, yes. And they were all dependent on me to be okay. So
Yeah.
I knew I needed to be okay, and it wasn't really a choice. I just needed to move forward. So, actually, what really kicked it off for me was Tony Robbins. Believe it or not,
Oh yeah.
I went to one of his seminars and
Nice.
I did his RPM. Is it RPM? Whatever the book is, I think it's RPM. And I took a weekend. Well, the first part was I took a weekend with my girlfriend in Atlanta and went out and had a very fun weekend and
Nice.
just kind of let go of all of that baggage and being married for that long and just
Yeah.
had some fun because I did not leave ever. In the
Yeah.
marriage, I was always taking care of kids and, working and doing that kind of stuff. So that weekend of fun was really fun. And then I took a weekend and just sat down and decided, what is it that I want in my life? What can I do? What have I been doing? And, once I figured that out, what I wanted, well, what do I need to do to get there? So I laid it all out, my priorities, and what kind of worked backwards from that and set it up from there. So, yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like a reset and then
Yes.
just like, okay, what, like getting real with yourself. What do I want?
Yes.
What do I
Yep.
need? And then probably
Hmm.
also, what do I not want anymore?
Yes.
And
Exactly.
how to move forward
Yeah.
through that. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life sometimes brings us those times when we just need to reflect and get really real with ourselves
For sure.
in order to move forward. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for sharing all of that.
Yeah, of course.
So, can you talk a little bit about resilience? Because, like, your situation was heavy, but that's not the end of like life keeps going and throwing stuff at you, right? It's not like,
It
okay,
does.
well, I'm done with hard stuff. That's not reality. So, how do you keep
Exactly.
going over and over?
Yeah, so there was, after the divorce, I just decided, I'm going to keep moving forward. So I put challenges in front of myself that were hard, um, just things that really were not directly to the path where I am right now. Like I did lifeguarding, a lifeguarding course, and became a lifeguard and a swim
Nice.
instructor out of nowhere. And that was a challenge. That was really hard to pass that certification. And I took up swimming and I started doing half marathons and just different things that would challenge me and keep me going. I think always having some type of goal in front of you is really important because it's just you have a purpose to move forward, and it's a good thing for me at least. And with the kids, I really needed to push myself and show them that just because this
Mm,
happened, we can still be okay. We're still going to do our routines. We're still going to have our family nights on Saturdays. We're still going to do movie nights. We're still going to have a family and keep moving forward. And I'm going to figure this out one way or another. And that built resilience. And showing up and doing hard things taught me I can do hard things, even if I don't want to, even if it doesn't feel good. It's still something that needs to happen. So,
yeah. What a good example for your kids.
yeah,
Just like mom's not going to let this defeat her.
right.
And I'm sure that carries over into their lives too. Just having that
Mm,
example in
yeah,
you will affect their lives so positively now and later.
hopefully.
So good for you.
Yeah,
Yes, for sure it will.
yeah,
I love that you did the lifeguarding thing and got into swimming because I mean,
yeah.
that doesn't relate to like
No,
what the problems at hand, but
no.
it must have been something like a spark, like, ooh, I need to lean into this.
Yeah.
What kind of spoke to you about those two things?
So I have wanted to go learn how to swim. I mean, I've always swam, but I've wanted to learn how to actually swim in a lap pool under the water. I just never really, I never took classes or anything. So I went to a master's class and I had been processing it like should I do it? Should I not? And believe it or not, the hardest part was like, I did not want to get into a swimsuit. That was the barrier for me.
Oh
I
my
was like, if I
gosh.
can do that, I can do it, because those swimsuits are so unforgiving. They
Yeah.
are so. So I showed up on masters, or to the masters class, and I was swimming with my head above the water, and it was quite the show. But um, a couple girls that I met there took me in, and they were lifeguards, and it just kind of developed from there. And they encouraged me, and we're still friends today. It was really nice to have that support, especially during that time, because we were still not quite divorced when I started that. And it was just, that's a hard time. So having something to kind of push towards and work towards was really good. And I didn't stay a swim instructor for very long. It just wasn't my thing, but it was very well needed in that time. And I think that's the biggest part, is just finding something to kind of grasp onto and push forward when you're going through a difficult time.
Yeah. Do you
So
think it's kind of a little bit of a healthy distraction too? Just something that's challenging, that's healthy, that you can focus on, that's not your problem.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I think that especially stepping out of that your comfort zone, and that was definitely outside my comfort zone. And then I felt, when I showed up in the swimsuit, not happy with how I looked, but I did it anyway. That feels good. It's stacking up those
Yes.
wins. It's just a really positive thing to push out of your comfort zone. So,
So much girl
yeah,
power here. I am
yeah,
loving this, Julie.
yeah.
Okay, talk about habits a little bit, because
Okay.
with what you've been through and, like, honestly, the journeys of all of us, I think habits are
Yeah.
so important. So talk about that a
Hmm.
little bit.
Yeah, so I've been doing my habits for quite a few years, but since the divorce again, I really anchored in on those. My morning habits and my evening habits are the ones that ground me. And if I miss them, the whole day just kind of derails. My morning habits don't always look the same, but they're always some sort of something that's going to anchor me and something that's going to make me feel like I achieved something. So, one of the easiest things that I found is getting up and making my bed immediately. It doesn't matter if somebody's coming over, not coming over, the bed is going to be made. And it's such a small thing, and it takes a few minutes to do. It's not a big deal. It doesn't have to look perfect. It's just done. And then I'll usually do like a walk or yoga or something that will just make me feel like, and currently it's swimming, but something that makes me feel like you accomplished something. You did good today. This is a great start to the day. And more than that, with the habits, it's also with the eating side of it too. Like I'll always do meal prep during the week. So I can come back and there's food in the fridge, so I can eat a healthy breakfast. I can throw together a stir fry and I have the sauce already made. So it's those little things, those habits that just kind of help your days and your weeks move forward really well.
Have you
And
read Atomic Habits by
I have,
chance?
yes,
Okay, I
yes.
was gonna say, yep. I think that
Absolutely.
that's a life-changing book for anyone
Isn't
who feels
it?
like they
Yeah,
don't have habits in place. Read that book.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorites. I've read it a few times.
Yes.
It's so good. And I'll
Same.
probably read it again. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know
it's
it's one
really
that
good.
I do read regularly. Just
Yeah.
it never gets old, and I need to be
No.
reminded of these things fairly often.
Absolutely. Yes. Those
Yeah.
reminders are so helpful.
Yeah. And one of the things he
Yeah.
talks about in that
Yeah.
book is that,
Yeah.
just kind of like, I don't know how he words it, but leaning back on your habits when things feel out of control. And that
Yes.
kind of sets you on a path of rhythm again. Like, okay, just knowing that you get up and you work out in some way and
Yep.
make your bed. I mean, it's as simple as
Yeah.
that.
It
That
is.
can set the tone for your whole week if you can just
It does.
remember
Yep.
to do those things that
Hmm.
make you feel good and accomplished. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. The other side of that too, though, is that it is really easy to fall off too. It
it
is
is.
just
It
as
can
easy
be.
to
Yep.
get up and grab the phone and look at
I know.
analytics or whatever.
Yeah.
um, and I know when I'm doing that kind of stuff, I won't have the same kind of day. So I
Yeah.
really try to be intentional with that.
Yeah. The pain of having a crappy day usually
Yeah.
sets me back on track. Like, okay, I
Right.
do need to lean on these habits more and not.
Right. So
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
Hmm.
And you talked about having a nighttime habit or
I do.
habits as
Yeah.
well. What do you do there?
Yeah. So that might look like yoga. It's usually like I go with a block schedule. So I usually will have my blocks of time, family time, and I'll do in the evening, I like to do meal like a chia seed pudding or something for the morning, so that's ready. Um, or make an herbal tea to put in the fridge for the next morning. Something that's going to make the next day better. I'll tidy up the kitchen, of course, maybe throw a load of laundry in, something that I kind of feel accomplished with, and then I will plan my day. The next day, of course, the most important things, the three most important things, but it's usually a lot longer than three things. I wish I could narrow it down to three, but I
Yeah.
haven't quite mastered that yet. So yeah, it's just that kind of stuff. And then, winding down with yoga or just relaxation, gratitude, journaling, something that's going to just kind of calm me. And just the little things like turning the temperature down in the room and, no blue lights or, just keeping it really calm at the
Yeah.
end, the last hour. Yeah.
It sounds
That
like
helps a lot. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're
Yeah.
so intentional with
Yeah.
everything, which really pays off. And having a house full of children too, I'm sure you have to stay
Not
on
a
top
choice.
of
Yeah.
yeah, the efficiency and streamlining
Yeah.
your life. But
Right.
yeah, that's
Right.
great that you stay on
It
top of all of
forces you
that.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But it's not perfect by any means. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you have
Work in progress.
do you have suggestions for people who have a hard time with habits, just maybe starting small or
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. So, what I love are 10-minute habits. And it doesn't have to, when you first start, it's just taking 10 minutes to do yoga, 10 minutes to journal, 10 minutes to listening to something that's inspiring, or 10 minutes to read something that's inspiring. Just take 10 minutes to do something in the morning that's going to make you feel like it's a win. And you keep stacking those little wins. And I would definitely not jump into it like doing five, six different things and committing to that because that's what I do. And
Yeah.
I've learned not to do that because I like to jump all in and it sets you up for failure. It's those little things that really help make a difference. And in fact, with a couple girlfriends, we kind of did this little mastermind group, and we check in at night to say these were my three wins from the night, and then we check in the morning and we say, what was our win for the day or whatever.
Mm.
It's a really nice thing to have accountability, to do something as small as, I made somebody smile today. It doesn't have to be huge. It's just something that you can know that you're growing, you're doing something intentional, and it's a habit that you try to be purposeful with.
Yeah,
So
that accountability piece is so
yeah,
helpful if you can tap into that.
it is.
Yeah. Okay, I want to hear about the 80/20 rule because I know you like to focus on that and how it plays in to helping
Yeah.
with your mindset.
Yeah, so when I first started everything, I tend to jump into things, like I said. And when I first started this whole thing, I was on Medium. And then I jumped into every single social media channel I could possibly find. And I was like all over the place. And I had at one point four different coaches plus an organizer trying to help me figure out what to do. I was just like, okay, this is going to happen no matter what. And, um, then I started reading E-Myth and the E-Myth Revisited. Is that what it's called? I think.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
yeah, and that was so
Mm.
eye-opening. Benjamin Hardy, he was another one that really helped me with the 80/20. It just to understand that you have to focus in on what you want and you can't be everywhere. You have to be somewhere, but not everywhere. And so I really had to bring that all in, which wasn't easy, and it's still not to this day because I get distracted really easy with this looks great, this is what I need to do, and let's do this. But I found, and I'm finding that when you bring it into the 20% that will actually move the needle, that is what matters. It's not doing everything; it's trying to stay really focused on what you're trying to do and what that goal is.
How do you recommend people figure that out? Because I think that can be a project in itself. Just like, okay, that sounds
Definitely,
great, but
yeah,
what is the
yeah.
20%?
So, what I like to do is start with the end. What is it that I'm trying to accomplish? So, like if it's meal prep or if it's blogging, I want to find out what my end result is. And then I kind of work backwards from there. And there's a lot of excess in there. And that's where Benjamin Hardy really helped me with the 10X book. I don't know if you've read it or not, but
That is an amazing book.
isn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
So that was really helpful in just determining, what is it exactly that I'm looking for, and what is extra here? What do I need to really focus on to get this done? And I found that ChatGPT has been incredibly helpful with that personally. I can list in everything that I have that I want to get done, and he can say, well, this is what you need to do. It's so helpful to see it from a different perspective than, all in your head. If you just write it all out, I think that really helps. Um, because there are so many things to achieving a goal, and a lot of it is extra.
Yeah. I know.
So,
I love that you're leaning on ChatGPT because
yes,
it's like a non-human perspective that just looks at the
right.
facts, and it's so
Exactly.
helpful to
No
take the
emotion.
emotion out of it, right?
Yes, yes.
I
Yeah.
know. I have leaned on it as well for goals and
Yeah.
helping to shape what I focus on and what I don't focus on too.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
It
great
makes
that
a
you do
huge
that.
difference.
It
Yeah.
does. And
Yeah.
then reading books like you do, I think
Yeah.
just keeping on top of books like Atomic Habits, and you
Yeah.
mentioned 10x is better than, or
Yes.
10x is better than 2x. And then,
Yeah. Yeah.
have you read The Gap and the Gain? I'm assuming.
I have it on
Oh,
Audible.
okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a
Yep.
great one.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
and then E Myth Revisited. I kind of forgot about that book.
Yes.
It's been so
Oh,
long
it's so
since I
good.
read
Yeah.
that. I'm going to write it down. I need to reread that. That's such a
Yes,
good one.
yes. Another one is Seven Habits. I go back to that one all
Oh,
the time.
yes.
I
An
love
oldie, but
that book.
goodie.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm inspired to get some of my
Yeah.
old books out and read them again. Thank you,
Yeah.
Julie.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And then once you start focusing on some of that 20% that actually matters
Yep.
and moves you toward your goals,
Hmm.
letting the 80% fall away, doesn't that feel so good? And then you're like, bye bye, I
Hmm.
didn't need you and I didn't even know it.
Exactly, exactly. Yes. It's like I can look back a year ago and I'm like, what was I doing? What was I thinking? And it's so
Yeah.
much more focused now. And I know in a year from now it'll be the same thing. It's just,
Yep.
it's always changing, it's always evolving. So it's a great
Always
thing.
streamlining, which kind of leads
Yes.
to my next question, which is systems. What systems do you have in your life and business that help support all of this?
Yeah, so I kind of have a system for everything. And that the E-Myth book was very helpful with that. Just kind of really, like with social media, I was everywhere and getting nowhere. And I've come to the realization that I need to be definitely on the website and I need to be in one place because I can do little things here and there, but I really can't give it all to everything because there's just nothing left to give. So having a system, which again, I use ChatGPT for, very helpful, and I just break it down. Like I do it for having that framework for meal planning, for the business, for doing the blog, just writing the recipe templates out. Everything has, you know, we follow a framework for everything. And I just found that even with planning the weeks with my kids and just doing block planning, I always make sure to get it in if I have a system and I have the framework for everything, and it just helps to be organized that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Family planning and blocking definitely carries over into business too, I found. Do you
Hmm.
agree?
Absolutely. Yes. And I have a couple of younger ones that, help me out from time to time. And it's wonderful to have that time to spend together with recipe testing and whatever it might be. Um, because we're doing this anyway in real life, eating food that we're testing. So it's really being able to block that time even together really works well. It's just
Yeah.
very efficient. And it's checking off all the boxes for spending time with them and getting things done with work too.
Yeah. Love
So,
that. I
yeah.
always like to ask moms this who also run businesses and have
Mhm.
busy lives. Do you have
Yeah.
any tips for just being an engaged, busy mom, for just like streamlining? Like maybe it's something you do in the mornings, or some sort of hack
Yeah.
that you have to share.
Well, hmm. I think probably the biggest one is with food prep. We're always spending time in the kitchen, and that's with homeschooling. That's with everything. Like they're in
Mm.
the kitchen all the time, and I am too because of what I do. So having that time together, and you know, uh, like when we drive places, we're listening to audibles together. Just making the most of the time to educate and learn and have fun together too. That's a good question. I'm sure I have many. I can't think of one right now,
That's okay
but I
if
love
others pop
combining
into your
it.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like you moms with a lot of children
Yeah.
and again like running multifaceted
Yeah.
businesses are the
Yeah.
ones who just have all of the like I don't know, just little tips that I would never think about because you need
Right.
to. You have to
I
out of
have to. Yeah.
necessity.
It's just
Yeah.
like probably normal for me. I don't
Yeah.
know. It just,
I
I,
know.
yeah, I'm very intentional with making everything like I try to do things together all the time. It's like we're just together and we do things and we get the things done that we need to get done because we're together. And because of the homeschooling, it really does. We're always together. I try to make it good, you know.
Yeah. So how do
That's
you do
probably not
calls
helpful, but
if you're homeschooling? How do
yeah.
you have help when you do like this call or you have to get focused work done?
Yeah, so we have blocks of time for different things. And like if I'm out writing, they'll come with me and do their stuff. If we go to like Caribou or to the library or whatever it might be. And my youngest now is 11, so it's not as hard
Oh, yeah.
as what it's been. So yeah, there's definitely time blocks for things. Like right now, they're downstairs doing their stuff. Um, at least I think they are. No, they know what they're supposed to be doing. Um, but there's accountability for that, so we'll get that
Yeah.
checked out.
Yeah,
No,
definitely. Oh, I love it.
yeah,
All right. So energy. Let's talk about energy because
yeah,
this, in my opinion, is the most valuable resource.
yeah.
I just have learned over the years that I need to protect my energy above almost all other things. What are your thoughts
Yes,
on that?
yes, yeah. So I definitely struggle with that one a lot because I am. I like even with friends, like I can be on the phone and I will listen for 3 hours if somebody's going through something, and I empathize so much with them, you know, and it kind of takes away what I need to do. And there's times for that, but it can't be all the time. So it's just kind of putting boundaries around that kind of stuff. Um, and I think uh, I would say, you know, comparison is a huge part of it, especially with food blogging. It's like when I first started, it's like, oh my gosh, these people know exactly what they're doing and it looks amazing. And how am I ever going to do that? And just the outside opinions and all the endless distractions that there are, it's really hard to focus when you're thinking about that kind of stuff. So I found that it's really important to be intentional. Like, I don't ever get up and start scrolling. I learned that the hard way. I never allow myself to do that because that's not starting the day good. And I'm going to start out the day feeling like I'm inadequate for a lot of reasons, you know, whatever it might be. And um, I think like I've gotten to the point in my life now, like even with friendships, I definitely love talking with my friends. I have a boundary around the times that I do and how much time I can do it because it matters. If I'm going to get this work a business and have a family, I only have a certain amount of time. And that's my biggest struggle. But I think it's definitely worth realizing, you know, sitting down and kind of evaluating where your time is going in the day and how to best, you know, protect that because it matters. Yeah.
Yeah, all of those little things that you mentioned,
Yeah.
comparison, conversations with friends, that they might seem like they're not stripping you of your energy, but they
Right.
secretly are.
They
So,
are. Yes.
yeah, finding
Yes.
what is taking your energy from you. And then I
Right.
think awareness, right? Just being aware of what is.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about awareness for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's easy to get, you know, lost in that a little bit. It's easy to spend a couple hours talking on the phone. And it's fun, you know, a lot of the times it's fun to get lost in that kind of stuff. But at the same time, if you have a schedule and you're trying to get things done, it's just not possible to do that kind of stuff because you only have so much energy in a day, you know? So,
Yeah. You
yeah,
have to be careful with what you give your energy out to. And I feel like
absolutely.
there's such a learning curve too, and it's a process of learning and growing and just that awareness thing that we talked about, becoming aware and then
Yes.
like, okay, I'm aware that my 2 hour conversation stripped a lot of my energy. So
Right.
growing from there. And then the next week you learn even more. It's a
Absolutely.
constant process, for at least
Constant.
for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Um, okay, so I feel like you have just streamlined your life, your mindset. Are there any other tools you have? Like you've mentioned books, Tony
Yeah.
Robbins, anything
Yes.
else that just sets the tone for you for your
Yeah.
year, month, week, day that
Yeah,
keeps you on the right
definitely.
track?
It kind of, it's like I like to attend seminars that are always, kind of just uplifting. Tony Robbins was huge with that. And I just went and saw Ed Milet, which is another favorite of mine. He's another favorite. I
Oh
really,
yeah.
yeah, I just enjoy being around people that are just inspirational and always moving and accomplishing things. And so that's really uplifting. And I always also, I think we talked about this already, but I like to always have something that I'm working towards, just some type of goal, whether it's physical or even like with I did a mindset group with my friends, and it was just a year of focusing each month on time management or family, getting closer with the family, always having something to kind of just keep me on track. Right now I
Yeah.
just signed up for a 2 mile swim in Lake Superior next year, which is going to be very challenging. I'm hoping I can do it, but excited to do
Whoa.
it. So that gets me in the pool, and it just makes me be the kind of person that, the kind of person that does a 2 mile swim in Lake Superior has to have discipline. So I need to be disciplined, and
Mm.
I need to be showing up each morning to the pool, or I'm not going to be able to do it. So I love having those bigger picture goals to work towards and continually go through. So yeah,
That's so inspiring. That
thank
whole
you.
reframe of what kind of person does X and then lining
Yeah,
yourself up to be that person by just
right.
doing it and agreeing to it,
Exactly.
committing to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
so inspiring.
Thank you.
Is there
Yeah.
anything else that would be helpful, do you think, for listeners who want to get a handle on their mindset, Julie, before we start saying goodbye?
Yeah. So I think it's just being very intentional with what you want in your life. I like to start from the end. Who do I want to be in 2 years? Who do I want to be in 5 years? And it takes a certain kind of person to be, hopefully the better version of yourself in 2 years or 5 years. And it's constantly working towards that, and putting things in front of you that are hard and challenging. So it forces you to grow, and in a good way. And I think it's all about growth and continuing to educate and learn, and risking and setting out for things that are scary, because when you do hard things, you can do more hard things. And it becomes easier each time. So that's kind of what I would say.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Well, thank you. You have
Yeah.
such an inspiring story, but also you're just an inspiring person. I
Oh,
think
thank
I
you.
think listeners will be really encouraged by everything you talked about. So we thank you for sharing everything you did
Of
today.
course. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Now, I know yeah, you've already given us tons of inspiration, but I do like to ask my guests at the end
Yeah.
if they have a favorite quote or additional words of inspiration. Do you have anything for us additionally?
I do. I have a current quote sitting right next to my bed. I change my quotes often, but I've had this one for a little while. And that is, "We generate fears while we sit, we overcome them by action," by Dr. Henry Link. And I think that kind of sums it all up. It's a powerful quote. Yeah.
Yeah, that sums you up too, it sounds like.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Well, we will put together, yeah, we'll put together a show notes page for you, Julie.
Okay.
So if you want to go look at those, we'll have everything we talked about today. You can
Okay.
head to eatblogtalk.com/becoming you with Julie. Tell
Yeah.
everyone where they can find you, Julie.
Right now, a little bit on Instagram, but mostly on becomingyouwithjulie.com. Of course, Pinterest, but that's about it right now.
Sounds good. Everyone go check
Yeah.
out Julie. And again, thanks for being here, Julie. And thank you so much for listening, food bloggers. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Eat Blog Talk. This episode was brought to you by the Eat Blog Talk Mastermind, where bloggers come together to break through barriers and accelerate growth. Learn more at eatblogtalk.com/mastermind. I will see you next time.